Okay, so in the last class we were discussing about the problems on the Fourier transform. So okay, so we have that one problem which we have discussed last class, which is having the amplitude x of j omega. Okay, that is magnitude, which is varying from -2 to +2, and similarly we have the phase x of j omega. So this will vary between -2 to +2. Okay, so this is minus pi by 2 and this is plus pi by 2, and it will vary between -2 to +2, which is omega. Now for this particular problem, so we obtained the result which is equal to, so what is the result? 1 over pi t into 1 minus cos 2t, right? 1 minus cos of 2t divided by pi t, right? So this we have arrive the solution, or you can even put 1 minus cos 2t as 2 sin square t by pi t. So now if you put t equal to 0, so then cos 0 it will become 1, 1 minus 1 it will become 0. So that's why, so even 0 by 0 form it will exist. So this value which will be, which we can take for t not equal to 0. So now for t equal to 0, what you need to do, you need to take the differentiation L'Hospital rule you can apply. So differentiate numerator and denominator separately. So you will get the minus 2. So you will be having cos differentiation. So minus 2 sine of 2t. Okay. So this minus and minus will become plus, and if you differentiate t, you will get pi. Okay. So now if you substitute t, so this value goes to 0. So now for t equal to 0, you will be having the Fourier transform value 0, and for t not equal to 0, then this Fourier transform exists for this signal. Okay. So sorry, this is time domain signal, right? So we have to find out the time domain signal. So this is x of t. Okay. So Fourier transform it is given. We need to find out the time domain signal. The time domain signal which is exist for t is not equal to 0. This one, for t equal to 0, this will goes to 0. So this is a time domain signal. Even you can replace this cos 2t in terms of sin square t. Even you can apply the differentiation, that is L'Hospital rule. The same it will exist. Okay. So this is what we were discussed in the last class. Okay. So this is a solution for this one. Okay. So now you can try to do one more problem and we'll finish this Fourier transform. So take this problem. So x of t is given, which is given by, so minus 1, and it is 2, and from 1 to 3, so it will exist the value which is minus 1, and this is plus 1. Okay, so this is x of t signal. So now find out the Fourier transform of this signal x of j omega. So now how we will find? So take equation x of j omega, so which is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of t into e power minus j omega t to dt. So now where x of t exists, the amplitude values between the index value t, so you can write that. So now it is exists from minus 1 to 0. So you can see here minus 1 to 0, the amplitude of x of t is 1 into e power minus j omega t into dt, plus similarly from 0 to 1 the value it is 2. So from 0 to 1 it is 2 into e power minus j omega t to dt, plus, so now from 1 to 3 it will be having minus 1. So from 1 to 3 the value it is minus 1 to e power minus j omega t into dt. So now this is the Fourier transform. So now we can evaluate these signals and try to get the answer. Try to do it this one. So what is the first one? E power minus j omega t. So this divided by minus j omega. So varies from minus 1 to 0 plus 2 into e power minus j omega t. So this divided by minus j omega, and you will get from 0 to 1. So here it is minus, it is there, so we can replace this one minus e power minus j omega t by minus j omega between 1 to 3. Okay, so this will give, so put the value of 0 and minus 1 corresponding to t value, so we will get e power, so this is 1 minus, because e power this e power, if you put the value of t it will become 1, e power 0 it will become 1 minus, so if you put the value of t it will become e power plus j omega, so this divided by minus j omega plus 2 into, so 2 divided by minus j omega, so into, so if you put the value of t equal to 1 it will become e power minus j omega, so minus, if you put the value of 0 it will become minus 1 minus 1 over j omega into, so e power minus j omega into 3 minus e power minus j omega into 1. So this will be the values. So now we can take 1 over j omega common. Okay, so in all the terms it is there. So now if you put minus inside, it will become e power j omega minus 1 plus, so 2 into, so if you put minus you will get 2 into 1 minus e power minus j omega. So here minus it is there, minus into minus it will become plus, so here it is minus is there, so it will become plus, so e power minus j3 omega minus e power minus j omega. Okay, so this is the Fourier transform of this signal x of t, and even you can see it can be simplified or not. So now we can multiply here the two and you can get the simplified version. So we will get 1 over j omega into, so if you multiply this one into the bracket, so plus 2 and minus 1 it will become plus 1, that I am writing, plus e power j omega this term, so plus, or so if you multiply here minus 2 into e power minus j omega, so plus e power minus j3 omega minus e power minus j omega. So now you can add these term. Okay, so you will get 1 over j omega into 1 plus e power j omega, so minus 3 into e power minus j omega plus e power minus j3 omega. Now this is the, so your Fourier transform of this x of t. Okay, so is it fine? Have you got it? Any doubts this in this? Hello? Any doubts? Anybody? Okay, so this completes your Fourier transform, and it will, the unit 3 is completed, and I will schedule the quiz tomorrow. Is it fine? Tomorrow? Hello? Gaganashri? Hello, Gaganashri? Are you there?
Sir,
Yeah, so I will schedule quiz tomorrow. We can write after 5. So this completes the third unit. So we will start the fourth unit.
Be given Saturday.
Yeah.
Second quiz be given on Saturday or Friday we have another quiz.
Okay, Thursday is fine, no? Tomorrow. Is it fine?
It's
Tomorrow is
one
fine.
day.
Tomorrow evening I have Putra. So is it okay or hello?
So Saturday would be better, I think.
Saturday.
Everyone will have time to prepare.
Okay. So Saturday anyhow I have 10 to 11 class, right?
Yes, sir.
So shall I put it on 12?
Sir, you can.
Okay. So is it fine for everybody? Saturday 12?
Sir, I'll discuss and I'll let you, sir.
No, if you go on discussing, somebody will tell some timing, some other will tell some other timing. So that's why. So it is better to put one time properly. So that's why I thought of deciding tomorrow. Okay. Okay, no problem. So I'll put it on Saturday. So do
Sir.
it. Okay. So I'll put it on Saturday and we can try to attend the quiz. There is no change again. So Saturday I'll put from 12:05 to 12:30. Okay. Okay. So now we'll start the new unit and this will be the Z transform. So first fourth unit will be actually applications of Fourier transform, that is Fourier representations. So that will come later. So we'll do the fifth unit, that is the Z transform. Okay. So now what is this Z transform? Why do we need this Z transform? So now when we have the discrete time signals and we have found out the corresponding discrete time Fourier transform in frequency domain representation, right? So now whenever you have some signals which are complex in nature and also it is discrete in nature, so some signals, so this DTFT it will not exist, so and it will not be absolutely summable. So in those cases what will happen, so this Z transform will be helpful to find out those type of complex discrete time signals. So now if you take example, if you have x of n which is equal to r into e power j omega n. Okay, so now if you have this type of signal, okay, so this is a discrete time signal. If you find out this the discrete time Fourier transform, so you will be having like summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into e power minus j omega n. So if you remember the DTFT equation, you will become to know. So now if you have this x of n kind of exponential signal which is growing, so now if you substitute this one, so you can like, so this you can take one-sided signal. So if you have this one, so then you will give n equal to 0 to infinity. So if you substitute x of n e power j omega n into e power minus j omega n, so now you can get this. So this, if you assume the magnitude of this r which is equal to 1, so then so this summation which is having n equal to 0 to infinity which is having 1, so this will tends to infinite value. So in those type of situations what will happen, so this the DTFT will not exist. Okay, in thus in those type of situation or those type of complex discrete time signals, then this Z transform will be useful. So now we can take this itself and we can try to evaluate Z transform later, how we can able to get the Z transform of this signal. Okay, so now how to, what is Z transform and how to get, that is what is the equation to get the Z transform of the signals, that is discrete time signals x of n. So that we will see. And this Z transform, so it will be the extension of the discrete time Laplace transform also, so that it is not there in your syllabus. So this is also the extension whatever we discrete time Fourier transform is there, that also we can represent so in the form of Z transform. And these primary applications of Z transform, so this will be used in the calculations of the complex values if you want to represent complex values discrete time signal in the frequency domain, so then we can use this one. So and also it will be very much helpful in designing of discrete time feedback control systems. Okay, so now if you have if you remember the convolution of the two sequences. Okay, so now if you have the convolution of the two sequences, if you remember y of n which is equal to x of n convolution h of n. So now if you remember this, so we can have equation which is equal to k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k into h of n minus k. So this also can be written as, so in terms of the h of k into x of n minus k. So now this convolution we know. So now if you have the signal x of n which is given by z power n. Okay, so now I'll assume the input signal which is x of n equal to z power n. So now if you substitute that one, so k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, so this x of h of k as it is there. So now x of n minus k, so x of n which is having z power n, so that we can represent it as z power n minus k. Okay, so now, so if you take out the z value outside, so this is z power n, so into which is k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of k into z power minus k. Okay, so now this we can, this summation we can represent it in terms of h of the z, okay, and z power n. So now this actually whatever you are having the summation, that will call it as the the impulse response whatever we have the discrete time signal h of n. So in terms of this summation which will be having impulse response, and this the z domain represent the z transform of the signal. So this h of z, so which is given here the summation, so this will be call it as z transform of the impulse response h of k, that is n. So k equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of k z power. Now this we can call it as the z transform of the signal x of k. So now where k is a dummy variable, so if you replace that one, so you will be having, so k equal that n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity h of n into z power minus n. So even instead of impulse response, if you have the input signal x of n, so then we can tell that this x of n, the z transform of x of n, which will be call it as x of z. Okay, so that means, so whenever you have the equation of this type, so we can find out the z transform of the corresponding the signal discrete time signal x of n. So this also we can represent it as z transform of x of n if you have an input signal, so which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now this is actually the z transform equation. So now if you have the whatever z, the complex variable, so that complex variable we can represent it as r into e power j omega. So this gives the complex plane, the complex z plane with magnitude and angle. Okay, so now if you represent this one in terms of complex signal, you will get r cos of omega plus j r sin of omega. Okay, so now this is the real part and this is the imaginary part. Now if you represent this in terms of the complex plane, the complex z plane, okay, so you will be having imaginary part of z and you will be having a real part of z. So now this will be the magnitude which is r and the angle which is having omega. So the angle which is from real axis to this vector, so that will represent the angle and this r will be represented as the magnitude of the z transform. Okay, so now we can if you compare with this discrete time Fourier transform equation, okay, so now you can see, so we know the so if you have this equation, that is x of z, so now if you have the x of z, we can represent it as summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. Now if you replace this z by r into e power j omega, okay, so that we have taken here. If you replace z by r into e power j omega, so then you will get, so x of r into e power j omega, which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into r into e power j omega whole power minus n. So now we can rewrite this equation as, so n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into r power minus n into e power minus j omega n. So now we can see here, so this will be our input signal and this will be the DTFT of the signal, that is the e power minus j omega n into this complete, we can write it as the DTFT of the signal x of n. So now we have to take the signal r, which is the magnitude, which is equal to unity. So now if you consider the magnitude which is equal to unity, so then we can consider this as, so the discrete time Fourier transform of the signal x of n, is it not? So if you have r equal to 1, so then we can get back the discrete time Fourier transform, that is x of n into e power minus j omega, is it not? So now, so when we take the magnitude r in that z transform, which is equal to 1, and also, so this r power n, it is growing or decaying exponential decaying signal with respect to the value of r and also with respect to value of n. So now, so this we know the discrete time Fourier transform of the signal, and this we know the z transform of the signal x of n. So now this x of e power j omega, so this whatever discrete time Fourier transform, this will become the z transform when z equal to e power j omega. So that is r, if you consider it as a magnitude value 1, so then if you replace z equal to e power j omega in this equation, so you will get e power minus j omega n, so which will give back the discrete time signal, okay. So now this is about the discrete time Fourier transform, and as well as how to correlate this and the z transform, okay. And we have seen the z plane also, and we can tell this x of n and the x of z, which will be call it as z transform pair, okay. So we'll be having z transform pair. So now this uh, z transform, so since if you have this infinite sum here, so we can have this infinite sum here, so then in order to obtain the existence of z transform, so the summation should be, so it should be converged and it should be absolute. That means whatever summation you will get, so whatever this summation, so whatever summation you will get n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into r power minus n. So if you take the magnitude, so this summation, it should be absolutely summable and it should be less than infinity. So then only the z transform exists, and where the z transform exists for this absolute value, so that we'll call it as region of convergence. That means where it will going to converge the value, so that will be called it as region of convergence. So where the points are some set of points or set of values where the z transform converge, so it will be called it as the region of convergence. So region means the area where the value or absolute value or summable value of this, so discrete time set, which will exist, so that will be called it as region of convergence. And this region of convergence, So if you take the any like system, control system or any other system which will be having transfer function, will be having zeros and poles. Okay, so this you will going to study later. So for the understanding purpose we'll be having, so these zeros and poles it will be there when you have z transform. If you find out the z transform of the signal, any signal x of n, so now this poles represents the infinite values and zeros represent the zeros values. So now these poles should not exist in the ROC, that is region of convergence, because it is a infinite value. If it is exist, then Z transform will not exist. So that's why no pole will be exist within the region of convergence. Okay, so now we will find out the one particular problem. We will going to understand what is ROC and how we can get the Z transform of the signal. Okay, so now we can have the signal x of n. So if you take signal x of n, and you will be having alpha power n into u of n. Okay, so now this is a discrete time signal given. Now find out the z transform of this signal. So now how we can find x of z, which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now this will be equal to, so now put the discrete time signal x of n, which is equal to n equal to 0 to infinity. So x of n is alpha power n into z power minus n. So now this we can rewrite it as, so n equal to 0. So and where here, so the condition is alpha should be less than 1. Okay, so now we can write this one as alpha into z power minus 1 into power n. So now this we can write it as, we know the equation for alpha power n, that is summation n equal to 0 to infinity alpha power n, which is equal to 1 over 1 minus alpha, where alpha is less than 1. So this we know the equation, summation equation, so that you apply, and here you will get 1 over 1 minus alpha into z inverse. Okay, so now where this alpha is less than 1, so that means, so here in our case it is alpha into z inverse, the magnitude it should be less than 1. So now we can write this one as alpha by z, which is less than 1, or z should be greater than alpha. Okay, so now this, whatever the value which we are getting, so whenever you have the z value which is greater than alpha, this will be called it as region of convergence. Okay, so wherever you take in the z plane, so this is, say for example, this complex z plane, imaginary of z, and this is the real part of z. So now if you take the area, so which is, say for example, this is the value of the z value which is alpha. So now whenever you take any value which is z greater than alpha, that is this area, whatever you take greater than the z value which is greater than alpha, so then this will be called it as region of convergence, and the z transform exists only above the value of alpha, and inside this there is no, the z transform will not exist. So and it will not be absolutely summable within this area, and wherever it is greater than alpha, so then it will be having the z transform, so that will be called it as region of convergence. Okay, is it understood? Any doubt? Hello? So this is how we represent the region of convergence, where the dotted section in the entire complex plane of z, so the z transform exists. Okay, any doubt? So anybody is having any doubt about region of convergence? Okay, so now try to find out the another problem. Try to find out the z transform of the signal. It is given by x of n, which is equal to minus alpha power n into u of minus n minus 1. Find out this. and find the ROC. Find the Z transform and correspondingly find the ROC and sketch the ROC. Try to find out this. Anybody got? Hello?
Minus infinity to minus
Minus? Hello? Yeah, minus infinity to?
minus 1.
Yeah, minus infinity to minus 1. You can take the variable and you can convert it to n equal to 1 into 1 to infinity.
Yes, sir.
So that you can have already. So summation n equal to 1 to infinity alpha power n, which is equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
But
that
where should we use Z terms?
what
The Z term.
z term we will be including in the alpha term itself, right? Alpha into z itself you can merge and you can take the power of n. So whatever we did earlier, similar like you can do.
So alpha Z minus 1 power minus 1 minus by 1 minus alpha Z.
Yeah, so that it will come minus some minus alpha z inverse by 1 minus alpha z inverse it will come. Okay, so now here, so the sequence is right hand sided, right? So it is positive sided. So but in our case now it is left hand sided. It exists from so 1 to, that is minus 1 to minus infinity. So then your z, whatever the region of convergence, z should be less than alpha. Okay, so that your region of convergence will come like this, so within the value of alpha. So if you take the this one real part of z and imaginary part of z, so you will get the alpha value as the region of convergence as, which is z, which is less than alpha. Okay, So have we done, or shall I do this one? If you want the solution, I will do. So you just take the transform of the signal, which is equal to summation n equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of n into z power minus n. So now this will be, so it exists between n equal to minus 1 to minus infinity. Okay, so x of n is minus alpha power n into z power minus n. So this will give minus summation. So you can write this, later we can write. So this will be, so alpha power n into z power minus n. So this we can write it as, so alpha into z power minus 1. So this we can also write it as, so if you take the minus value here, so and if you take the summation, so this will become positive, or you can take another variable. So for value of n equal to minus m, something like that, then you can also do. Okay, so if you take n equal to minus m, what will happen? So if you have the value of n equal to minus 1, so m will become equal to plus 1, and you will be having the n value equal to minus infinity, it will become plus infinity. Okay, so if you take n equal to minus m, so this will become like this. So then you will get the n value. So if you replace n equal to minus m, so this will become, so alpha power minus m into z power. So since it is minus n, so if you replace n equal to minus m, it will become plus m. Okay, so now this we can write it as, so m equal to 1 to infinity minus, so alpha into z whole power minus alpha power minus 1 whole power m. So this we can write it like this. Okay, so this we can give, so m equal to 1 to infinity alpha power minus 1 z whole power m. Okay, so now this since m is a dummy variable, we can replace again n value, and we can get the the summation value, which is equal to, so alpha power minus 1 z, so this divided by 1 minus alpha power minus 1 into z. Okay, so this we can the solution of this one. So now we can write this one as, so where you can see here, so we have defined this alpha which is less than 1, so here also which is alpha less than 1. So now we can get the, for this alpha inverse z, so magnitude which is less than 1, this will give the ROC. Okay, so now what will happen, z by alpha which is less than 1, so your z will be equal, which is less than alpha, so then you will ROC, which will become exist. So that is what we have defined here. Okay, so the solution of the z transform, which is having, so this is the z transform of this signal, and your ROC exists, so wherever z less than alpha. Okay, so are you getting? So you have to always take which term, so which is the alpha in place of alpha which is coming, so that term decides the ROC. Okay, so whatever we have, that alpha by 1 minus alpha, or whatever we get from the summation values, so wherever this pole exists, so this in the denominator, which is call it as, we call it as poles, and the numerator alpha, which will call it as zeros. Okay, so wherever poles exist, so you have to take that alpha value, and you have to decide the ROC, where exactly the ROC that is region it will exist, the convergence region. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt? Hello, anybody is having any doubt in this? You can decide the region of convergence. Hello, is it understood? Any doubt? So now,
Got it, sir.
yeah, now try to do it one more, this Z transform of the signal. Carefully decide the region of convergence. So the x of n is given, which is equal to 7 into 1 by 3 power n into u of n minus 6 into 1 by 2 power n into u of n. So take this one and try to find out the set transform. Carefully find out for the each and every the discrete time signal the region of convergence, then finally decide for complete signal what is the region. Try to find out. What is x of z? Now you split the signal x of n and you can rewrite like this, and we can write this as n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 3 into z power minus 1 power n. So this we can write it as 6 summation n equal to 0 to infinity half into z power minus 1 whole power n. So now we can write this one. So 7 into 1 over 1 minus 1 by 3 into z inverse. Okay, so minus 6 into 1 over 1 minus half into z inverse. So now what is the region of convergence? Region of convergence whenever 1 over 1 minus, that is 1 by 3 z inverse, which is less than the value 1. Okay, and also this one, it is 1 over 2 z inverse, which is less than 1. So now, so
So
since,
lies between both.
yeah,
The convergence lies between these two.
yeah, we'll see how it will be. Okay, so now we can write this. So 1 over, so 3z,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
so less than 1, and your z which is greater than 1 by 3. Is it right for that one? So similarly for z greater than 1 by 2, right? So now decide which is the least value. So if you have take the complex plane,
By 3.
1 by 3, right? So this is a, so when you go on putting the values of z, which is the least value? 1 by 3. So 1 by, this is 0.3, so somewhere here 1 by 2 0.5 exist. So for 1 by 3 itself it exists means, so for 1 by 2 also it will exist. So the region of convergence should be z greater than 1 by 3. Okay, so wherever z value which is greater than 1 by 3, so your region of convergence exists. Understood? So this is a value where z equal to 1 by 3. Z greater than 1 by 3. So this region of convergence exists. Understood? Any doubt?
No, sir, got it.
Okay. Sorry, here one more point you can note down. So as I said, pole should not exist in the region of convergence, right? That point always you note down. Pole should not exist for region of convergence. So now if you take z greater than 1 by 3, so of where it is, z equal to of somewhere here, right? Is it not? So this leads to a infinite value. So it will not give absolutely summable. So that's why the region of convergence we need to take z greater than 1 by 3. Okay. So 1 by 2. So that means the region of convergence which exists z greater than the 1 by 2. So we can take this value, the region of convergence which is exit z greater than 1 by 2. So somewhere here 1 by 3 it will there. So this pole it is not included in the region of convergence. So that's why the z transform exists for this also and this also. So that's why region of convergence for this case you have to take z greater than 1 by 2. So keep it in mind always that point pole should not be there in the region of convergence which leads to a infinite values. So that's why, so in order to get absolutely summable values, so region of convergence does not consist any pole. Okay, so that's why, so we need to take the z value, the for the region of convergence z should exist greater than half for this case. Is it understood? Any doubt? It is not 1 by 3. Z greater than 1 by 3. Z greater than 1 by 2. Okay. Is it fine? Understood? Okay. So, okay. So we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next.